In this video we'll be looking at 3.2, discriminant, extra examples. So our instructions will be use the discriminant to decide how many zeros there are if there are any zeros, find them. So number one, we're going to go x squared plus 34x equals negative 289. So the first thing we will do is solve so that this equals 0. So we'll add 289 to both sides, and we get x squared plus 34x plus 289 equals 0. Now let's decide how many zeros there are, if any. So we'll use the discriminant. So I need to first identify my a, b, and c. A equals 1, hidden 1 in front of my x squared. B equals 34, and C equals 289. So I will do my b squared minus 4ac. So I'm going to use the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. So I'll do 34 squared minus 4 times 1 times 289. We'll use a calculator to help us solve this. (34 times 34 is 1,156. And then negative 4 times 1 times 289 is minus 1,156, so that equals 0. Since the discriminant equals 0, there is one x-intercept, or 1, 0. So let's find that 0. So now we'll plug into our quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus square roots b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So now I'm just going to plug my a, b, and c into my formula. So x equals negative 34 plus or minus the square roots of b squared minus 4ac. So 34 squared minus 4 times 1 times 289 all over 2 times 1. So now when we're simplifying, we'll get x equals negative 34 plus or minus, well, we already did all this math. We did that up here. We did our b squared minus 4ac, and we found that that's going to equal 0. So I know it's going to be plus or minus my square root of 0 over 2 times 1, which is 2. So the square root of 0 is 0, so I'll get x equals negative 34 plus 0 over 2, and I'll get x equals negative 34 minus 0 over 2. Well, these are going to equal the same thing, and that's why I'm going to get only one x-intercept. Because negative 34 plus 0 is negative 34, so I get negative 34 over 2, which equals negative 17. And here I get the same thing, negative 34 over 2, which equals negative 17. And since it's the same value, that is the one x-intercept. So I would just say x equals negative 17. So x equals negative 17 is that one x-intercept. So let's try another one. Number 2, I'm going to do 12x squared plus 9x minus 2 equals negative 17. So the first thing we have to do is make our equation equal 0. So I'll add 17 to both sides, add 17 to both sides, and now I have 12x squared plus 9x plus 15 equals 0. We'll identify our A, our B, and our C. And then we'll plug into our discriminant, b squared minus 4ac, and see what happens. So I'm going to do 9 squared minus 4 times 12 times 15. So I'll get 81 minus 4 times 12 times 15 is 720. And I'm going to go 81 minus 720, and that equals negative 639. So, since the discriminant is negative, we have no zeros or no x-intercepts, like that. And then we're done with the problem. We don't have to go any further because there are no zeros. So there's no point in plugging these numbers in to find something that's not there. So that's some extra examples to help you work through these. If our discriminant's negative, we're kind of done with the problem. We can say that there's no zeros. And if our discriminant is 0 or positive, we can plug our A, B, and C into our quadratic formula to find out what those zeros are. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.